to Beauty Pioneers. How is everybody doing today? I am Coach Lee Hill, and today we are talking still about the boycott. However, we're going to be talking more of this one is called the ideal boycott of what we probably should be boycotting and how we should be doing these different things. So, we're going to talk about different areas of the beauty world where it should be boycotting and some suggestions on how that should be implemented. So hopefully you guys will love this. I am waiting for the beautiful Dawn. She will be coming in. How is everybody doing this Sunday evening? I know everybody's ready. We got a whole new week to go, y'all. A whole new week. All right. So, I do not like to wait. So, and look, as soon as I said that, there she go. There go the lovely Miss Dawn. Well.
Hi
I was supposed to call you. I was like, I was
there.
running all behind and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh. What's going on, love?
Lana, you look gorgeous.
You as well, honey. I see you rocking them scarves. Where you get them scarves from? They too cute.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I'm in my scarf era. I'm in my scarf era.
You in your scarf era, and then
Yeah,
you gonna wake up
yeah.
one morning, you're gonna be like, you know what? No more of that. We're gonna do something else different. We're gonna have handkerchiefs. So I was explaining today that we are going ahead and we're doing the ideal boycott, and we're going to touch on some of the areas of some suggestions that we have as to what an ideal beauty boycott should be, based on based on the things that are going on now, right? That are going on
Mhm.
now in the beauty world. I just want to let you guys know that you definitely can go ahead and sign up as a member. We do have super chat, and if you want your messages to stand out, you can go ahead and do that as well. All you have to do is become a member on Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist. And also, don't forget to go to, I just created the page for, what is it? What is it? Oh, Beauty Pioneers. And welcome to Beauty Pioneers. This is our name. Don, I need to give you all the stuff that I done did, child. I was doing a lot yesterday. So welcome to Beauty Pioneers. You have myself, Coach Lee Hill, and you have the phenomenal celebrity hairstylist, makeup artist, skin educator, you name it, Don Ferguson. All right, our co-host Don Ferguson. So we're gonna go ahead and Don and I, we always think about, we don't do videos based on necessarily what's popping, like, you know what I mean. We can do lives on the fashion. We can do lives on, what's the latest trend, which I know you guys are used to when it comes to hairstylists, but we bring something different to the table because we bring things that are needed. All right, we bring things that are needed. So one of the things I did want to say is that when we are boycotting, especially with the things that are going on, you guys have seen me do a lot of videos concerning boycotting, right? And I want you to know that part of boycotting doesn't necessarily have to be not just buying things. It can be different alternatives, creating new habits, right? Collective action. So we want to go ahead and shift the power away from the things that are affecting our community, especially as Black women that are being affected when it comes to CCCA, hair loss, and those different things. And so, Don, you want to did you get those things, or you want me to start it off, or what you talk to me? What you want to do?
Um, you could go for it because mine are on my phone. Everything is right here on this phone.
Oh man, I thought
Um,
about it too because I had to send mine over to the thing because I was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna be on the phone, right? So one of the things y'all know I stress about, and I know we talk about our hairstylists and just in 2025, it's not just the new hairstylists, but we also need to talk about even the old school hairstylists that um what's the word, kind of refuse to learn or refuse to change, or different things like that. So it's not just new hairstylists, but when we talk about boycotting, we want to talk about some of the things, and one of the reasons why that's
Can you
another
get my
direction we need to look into, right?
can you
So
give
if
me
we
that
think
phone?
about it, at the beginning, when we first started the boycotting, talking about the whole series of it, we were talking about the fact that women were, I think it's over 306,000 jobs that were lost from Black women. And so they decided to go ahead and boycott, and put all of our energy, our money, everything into the beauty world, right? Into our support them, right? And so we decided to, that's the road that they decided. So we supported it. We talked about the different products, what not to purchase, things like that, right? However, um, we could do that, but we have to fix the foundation of things in order to do that, because you don't want to push your money, you don't want to push your business into already what's a crumbling type of foundation when it comes to our beauty world, right? And so we do videos. Don and I have done 19 videos so far on the different areas in the beauty world when it's concerning Black women. So one of the major things is the, of course, our hairstylist, right? And so that's one of the ways that we can boycott. I have done a lot of videos, and Don, we've talked about the fact of women that are losing their hair. We talk about bad practices, right? So let's go ahead and start with that. You got something to say, Don? Or you smiling?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just got my other phone. I have all these devices, and I was reading some information. And this
Yes.
girl is literally she's literally cutting hair out of this Mexican hair head. Like the Mexican has like hair all the way down. You know how Mexicans have extremely long hair. And
Right.
she grabbed her a pair of thinning shears, and she is literally cutting her hair out and pulling it out as
No,
as
she not.
as bundles,
No, she not.
like real hair. I'm like, you can't you can't make this up. You
And
know,
in the midst of me
it
talking about bad practices.
yes, yes.
The irony of that.
It the the state of that we are in is horrific. Like it's so you it's like we're beyond 10, right? We're beyond 10.
We beyond it.
The
Go
need,
ahead.
we're beyond 10. It's like we're out of the atmosphere when it comes to beauty. The more ridiculous beauty is, it's like the more we want it, you know. And I
Right.
think that with this long hair thing, it's
Uh-huh.
we don't think we are beautiful unless we have some long hair attached
Mm.
to our head. And it's unfortunate that our beauty is tied into the length of our hair or
Yeah.
adding extensions to our hair.
Right.
um our value should be in who we are as a person, our whole being as a
Hmm.
person. You know, my curly hair. You have other nationalities that are making their hair kinky.
Mm.
They're
Right.
making their hair kinky, right? So they can look more African American,
More ethnic. Yeah. Yeah.
you know. And here we are destroying our curl pattern.
Mm.
It's like it's the, I want to be I want to be that. What is,
Right.
we're having a hard time accepting who we are and what
Hmm.
we see in the mirror.
Right.
We're like, um I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
want any hair that bad. I don't want hair that bad. I don't
I
I
know.
don't want I don't want it.
You know, it was cute when you brought that out because I remember I had did a show, and I don't know if they still doing that, where we they crimp the hair, we to put the crimps in, like it was like the Caucasian models do like a runway show or a
Mhm,
fashion show or
mhm,
whatever, and we had to style the hair, and you got to do the crimps in it and make it tease
mhm,
it and make it texturized a
mhm,
lot.
mhm,
You know what I mean?
mhm,
So when you said that, I was like, yeah, they
mhm,
did want that. They did want
mhm,
that. Let me see what's going on.
mhm.
It said, oh, Keisha say, hey there, ladies. It's so great
Hey,
to see
Keisha.
y'all. Dawn starting off dropping gems this early in the show. Go ahead, Dawn. We don't think we are beautiful, Dawn. Yes, yes, yes. There go my Miss Keisha, honey.
Thanks,
Keisha be on
Keisha.
it,
Love
boy.
you. Appreciate you. It's, we, we hate ourselves. We've been so programmed. We've been so programmed to think that we aren't beautiful. You know what I'm saying? We're beautiful with our curly hair. We're beautiful with our broad lips,
Right.
hips. You know, we have to learn to embrace us as a people.
Mm,
All of us as a culture. You in America, yes, we were imported from Africa. We've been imported from someplace else, but we are American. We live by American laws and rules and regulations. We are American.
right.
So you have other nationalities that are American, but they don't lose touch with their culture.
Right.
They
That's so
still they
true.
still they still embrace their culture. The positive, the negative, they still embrace their culture. You know, it, we need to hold ourselves accountable and say every day, I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am loved.
Girl, you done took it to the help. Donna took it to
I
the help,
mean,
child.
we need a campaign on
We need
self-love,
something. We definitely
you
need
know.
something because and it's so crazy that you now that you know you talking about it, it's like you said, we have our own culture and different things like that. And believe it or not, a lot of the identity of us has been stolen. But even in that, we're
Mhm,
such a creative people, right?
mhm,
That we still create
mhm,
um
mhm,
trends, and you know what I mean,
mhm,
and different things like that, and looks and styles and stuff like that.
mhm,
And so
mhm.
that is the beauty in that as well. Don, you want to read this, or you want me to get this? Keisha, and I know she's talking to you.
Where's a good place to start with teaching us as consumers, Black consumers, to learn to accept our hair? I
All
think the
right.
more we talk about it, Keisha, loving the affirmations. Thank you. I
Yeah.
think we have to talk about it. We have to show up and we have to talk about it. That's why I be making them little snarl remarks on Facebook because it makes them think. You know what I'm saying? Today is a great day to shampoo your wigs and shampoo your clean your makeup brushes. Today is a good day to be beautiful. You black 365
Come on.
days a year. It's not one
Right.
day that you ain't black. It's not one day I woke up and I was a different color.
Come on.
You
Lord
know?
knows I don't
So
want to wake up a different color. I really enjoy my being this color, and I love that you're bringing that out because I had a
Mhm,
young lady today. I had did a video on the most dangerous um, hairstyles that are affecting the black women, like for hair loss,
mhm,
CCCA.
mhm,
And I had this, I'm not sure if she was younger. Well, I think she's older because she said she was married for 30 years. And it was one lady before her said, when I was talking about it, she said, oh, that's y'all, not us, not we, it's y'all. I was
mhm,
like, whoa, right? And then
mhm,
this lady come on and she said, like, you women, y'all, you're envying the mixed women or the Hispanic women hair. That's why you guys are trying to do this look or whatever. I think she ended up deleting it because you know how I am now. I'll get you together. And I was like, it's so unfortunate that we don't understand that a lot of us, like we've done videos, showing you where kids as young as the age of 2 years old are getting lace fronts. So
Mhm.
it's not necessarily about the envy of wanting to have mixed color hair, or I'm gonna tell you, good hair is having hair. I
Mhm.
always tell people
Mhm.
that if you have hair, that's good hair. Whatever texture it is, good hair
Right.
is having hair. And it was so sad because as I said, it's one of us, you know what I mean, that tear
Mhm.
down
Mhm.
one another instead of like instead of understanding the whole purpose of this and saying, man, our people, we've lost our identity. And so now we're going with the latest trend. And yeah, unfortunately, when I was a little girl, Barbie was a white Barbie, right? We didn't have
Right.
the black Barbie. We didn't have all this. So we had the Cabbage Patch and it came black, and she had cotton yarn hair. But we didn't have the Barbie until as I got
And
older,
and
right?
full and full
Exactly.
figure.
Full
Mhm.
figure, right? Come on.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
when you do that, or when you're putting a lace front on your daughter's hair, it to me it was very, I was like, this is so ignorant of her to say, you know what I mean? And I was like, but it looks like she took it down because I definitely was going to address it. And this is why I want to go back to the boycotting. We were talking about boycotting and the hairstylists that we have. A lot of them don't. I have been, and Don, let me ask, I want to ask you if you've been experienced this where you've had, and another young lady said, a lot of us want to just wear our natural hair. Not everybody want to be with the long lace fronts and all this stuff. And I was like, that's great that she said that. And so I have been in a salon where a person is coming in. Well, let me take that back. I have seen, I wasn't working in the salon, but I have seen where a person's coming in and they saying, hey, can you wash and blow dry my hair and trim it? And the people looking at her like she an alien, and I just want a quick style or whatever. I just like wearing my hair. I have seen that many of days where a sister's coming in and she just wants her natural hair. But because we're in a culture, oh my God, culture, y'all, I don't know what's
Mhm.
going on today. Because we're in a culture where if you're not wearing weave, if you're not wearing a lace front wig or whatever, you're not considered um I guess trendy, or you know what I mean. You're not with everybody else. You're not up with the time. I don't know what it is, but the reason why I want to say this to clients, the reason why you may have a hairstylist that may try to turn you off from getting what you want is whether it's natural, whether it's some type of form of extension, whether it's hair cutting or whatever, is because that hairstylist has limited herself to whatever specialty service that she has. And a lot of times they'll tell you, and then when you don't budge and they'll tell you, hey, okay, I'll do it, they're going to do a botched job because they don't have the education. I was telling Dawn about this lady said she was doing a cut, and she said she was doing a Tiana Taylor Carucci cut. And my niece had sent it to me. And when I looked at it, I was like, she had so much hair coming forward, right? And it was supposed to be a graduation in the back, Don. And the graduation, graduation supposed to be clean and just blended and kind of
Mhm.
wispy. You know what I'm saying? It was
Mhm.
none of that. It was just bulk. It was very bulky. So she needed the person
Mhm.
had thick hair. And by the time I had explained it to my niece, she was like, I knew it. I knew you was gonna I knew you was gonna break it all down because I said she need this and this, and she should have changed the color because it was just like a pale blonde. It didn't complement the cut. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So everything has to be intertwined. And I said the reason why she did it that way, and she kept moving the hair, trying to see if I move it more, it's gonna look different. I'm like, it ain't gonna look different because the weight was coming here and it needed to be
Mhm.
increased layers. You know what I mean? And going
Mhm.
in point cut. And so I said to myself, I said, you know why she did it that way? Because she doesn't have the education. She could be a cosmetologist.
Right.
She was an older cosmetologist, but I
Right.
said she doesn't do continuing education or anything
Right.
like that. So she amped the girl up, and the girl was like, I like it. And then everybody in the thing was like, it's not cut right. Now, these are people that don't even, these are clients that's saying that. And
Right.
so boycotting is not just stop buying, you have to stop patronizing hairstylists like that, because what it will do is it will force them to do continuing education. It will force them to not limit themselves just in um, quick weaves only. It will force them to not just do braids. It will force them to say, hey, let me let me push forward, let me push my skill set, because if they're creative in this, they can be creative in many things, right? But because
Mm-hmm.
we keep patronizing them and keep doing it, guess what happens? They're going to continue to give you the service that they want, because no one is challenging them to change that. And in essence as well, if we don't change it, what will happen is um, you will continue to get that vicious cycle of what we got going on now. CCCA, right? Let me read
Mm-hmm.
real
Right.
quick. Lord have mercy, washing wigs. Woo. Yeah, girl. Dawn had be having me laughing at 6 a.m. in the morning with the foolishness. I'd be like, but it be what makes it funny is the fact that she telling the truth. She said, hey, it's Sunday, honey. Today's a great day to wash your makeup brushes and stuff, and your wigs. Now I fell out laughing, but I said, well, hopefully they heed to it, right? Okay, Keisha says, y'all, I saw a video of a small baby. She was 1 year old, and her mom took her to a braider to get extensions. The comment section was all the way live, dragging them. That baby was screaming in pain. Lord have mercy. That's really, really sad. And they brought the baby to the braider with a bonnet on, already training her, right? With a bonnet on. Why do we put bonnets on babies now? I can't take it. Coach Lee, you are right. We are making our women bald. I saw something new today. Eyelids. Oh, Dawn. With the makeup already on, with the makeup already on it, not eyelashes, but eyelids. I didn't know how to feel about that other than shock. And then, do these stylists want to do better, because these nasty attitudes make me feel like they don't need to be a boss. They need to be in a customer service class. Ooh, Lord, Keisha, you laying them out today, huh? You on fire today. Don, what you think about the eyelids that have the makeup on it?
I
They
think
come
it's
like
great. Halloween's coming up.
what?
You have something. You have like some instant. You know, you don't have to. You don't have to rush. You can just pop that on, and you can create whatever look. This world is full of masks, and people are running around creating
Yeah.
all kind of illusions of themselves. Is it the real person? Because when they walk outside, and be like, oh, that's somebody else. The wigs have a name.
Mm.
So I the eyelashes with the makeup on top. Hey,
Keisha say, Lord, Don done drop the mic. I said, you know what it remind me of? I don't know if y'all remember. It was a cartoon, and it was the women, and I think it was her name was Star, and she had, was it the gems or something like that? I'm taking it way back, y'all.
mm,
I was like, when I every time I see it, and they do look nice, but I'm just like, now what material is that made out of? Like, I'd be thinking as a cosmetologist, and like, well, what are they putting on that to create it? It looks nice. I seen it or whatever,
yeah.
but I was like, I don't know. And so I was curious to find out, like, Don, what do you think about that? You know,
Like I said, we're in a state of crisis.
right?
We're at war with ourselves, with the image that what we see. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think a lot of the decisions that we make, like now, people are like coming out of their locks. I'm cutting my locks off. Of course, you're going to cut your locks off. Because short hair is going to increase clients with short hair, they're going to visit the salon more. So a lot of stylists that
Right.
are out there, they're like, how can I get the consumer in the salon? Everybody got locks now. They dragging the ground with
Mm.
locks, lock. Natural hair really, absorbed a lot of our business. So stylists were like, what do we, what do we do? So,
Right.
you have to go and create a demand by, okay, let's cut your locks off. Let me talk you in. You need a fresh new look. Let's cut these off. And of course, when you cut your locks off, it is very liberating. Trust me.
Mm.
you know, so short hair is very liberating. So when you cut your hair, it's like, oh my God, I didn't know it was so much weight I was carrying on. I didn't know I could, it was such, it's freeing. It's absolutely freeing. But little do they, that now you have to maintain your short hair because short hair needs weekly maintenance. So,
Right.
you have to be, now you have your clients coming in on a weekly basis to for services because a shortcut needs, it's nothing like a horrible shortcut.
Woo, Lord. I
Just
be
be
like,
like, you
just
can't
put the
ride
bowl
out
on the
the
head.
shortcut for a month. Like, be like, I cut my hair, and it's like, okay. I'm like, no, you have to, you got to style your hair. But
You know, this is the thing too. And it's not to bash hairstylists, but what
mhm,
will happen is, and eventually we're gonna get there. We're gonna
right,
get there because the inevitable is here, that change has to come, right?
right,
Because it's only going to be so long. Like he should say, you're going to keep dealing with bad attitudes, right? You're going to
mhm,
keep dealing with hairstylists that's telling you to wash your own hair, condition your own hair, and just
mhm,
style it. I'll style it, and then but they
mhm,
charge you over $100. I think
mhm,
that is the best, what they call that, with a Jedi mind trick. I,
mhm.
I was like, before we know, I was like, so you gotta wash your hair, condition your hair, blow dry your hair, and come there for them to style it. But they're gonna charge you like they did all of that work. That's a Jedi mind trick. If
That,
anything, clients need to pay attention and be like, what is that? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's how many warning signs. How many warning signs did you get? The one was you have to wash your hair. That's one warning sign.
Mm-hmm.
Second warning sign, you got to come with your hair already washed, conditioned, clean. With all those stipulations,
Mm-hmm.
before you get there, the
Uh-huh.
you know the client's responsibility, the stylist's responsibility as a licensed professional is to cleanse the consumer's scalp. You're supposed to
Right.
start with a clean palette, right? Okay. Even
Uh-huh.
barbers, they be like, do you wash your hair before? Do you wash your hair after the barber shop? But at some
Right.
point, you have to sanitize. Nobody want to wash their hair after a haircut, but you have to. You're either gonna wash it before or wash it after. But at some point,
That's
you're gonna have to sanitize the haircut, right?
right.
So we're not taking in consideration those things. That's why we're passing on so many communicable diseases through beauty services. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You have it's the winter is coming up. People come in the barbershops, runny nose. The kids got runny
Ugh.
nose. You
Mm-hmm.
got a cold and flu season is upon us.
Mm-hmm.
So the ones that are affected quickly are the beauty people. The
Right.
Because we're providing beauty services from your nails to your lash services, your waxing, to your haircuts,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Um, Angel B says, I
Mhm.
absolutely hate that style only. Terrible. That I was
Yeah.
like, what, and it's funny because I've always worked in, not always, let me take that back. I always work in both diverse salon, and I work in, I've always been for the most part, only black girl, unless, and then I worked in the black salon, right? So
Mhm.
I would work two. I would one in the morning and one in the evening. But
Mhm.
the diverse salons, and I was the only one in the black salons that washed hair. The
Mhm.
girls would sit up, line up, and that my friend could slay some hair. Now I'm telling y'all, she could slay some hair, but I was like, she'd hate it. She's like, I'll pay somebody just to wash their hair. She did not want to wash hair. She just wanted them to come in the chair and just do what she did. But
Mhm.
I always remembered, when you go into the all Caucasian salons, or when you go into a diverse salon where it's Hispanic, blacks, Caucasian, or whatever, even men haircut, it because that's why our men haircut, and this is, the black community, even our black men, $40 was the starter. If you're a junior stylist, it was $40 for a men haircut, right? So you're gonna cut
Mhm.
that hair and everything, and then you're gonna wash them, or sometimes you may wash them first, and then you're gonna cut their hair. And this is a men, and that's like a full massage. You're gonna give them the works because they're gonna tip you really, really nice, right? And so that was a normal thing to me. And this is when I stayed in Florida, when I stayed in Miami, and then when I moved away, it's always been that. But when it feel like when I came back to Miami, I'm like, wait a minute, what y'all doing now? I was like, oh no. Because even as a hairstylist, that you don't women, they don't understand that when you tell someone don't wash their hair and they come into you and you start doing their hair. Now I'm gonna tell you from experience, and that's where I started wearing my gloves. Because Dawn, when I first came in, you feel invincible when you're young. I'm like, oh no, honey, I can let me hear about your time. Girl, I had a breakout so bad, my hands, the palms of my hand was peeling, and they told me I had a some type of bacterial infection. I forgot what they call it. It was a real aggressive, and I had to use. I had to get a prescription and a certain. I didn't want to take the prescription, so I put the foot thing that that's what they put it on the takeaway. Is a fungus basically on my hands. So even to the hairstylists that are telling you to wash your hair, some of these people don't wash their hair, or some of these people may have some type of disorder going on, and you don't even know that. Or they got a cut in their head or whatever, and you over there just doing it because, hey, I got that money fast. But at the same time, guess what happened? You are getting infected. That person, it's like it's so many things with that. But the saddest part is that clients don't think enough of themselves to say, you know what, let me boycott this. Let me go on social media and say, Tay Tay at such and such, she don't wash hair, she don't do no consultation, she don't use no good products. Do not go to her. Instead,
Right,
you go home, your hair slayed. Now your hair look good,
right.
so you will wear that, rock that hairstyle, but you know that she done put 10 ounces of alcohol in
Mhm,
your hair. She done
mhm,
fried, dyed, and laid it to the side. She has given you
mhm,
all that. So you like, well, I'm gonna look good for a week or two, right? Or I'm
mhm,
gonna look good for a couple of months because she done did a quick weave, right? And then
mhm,
suffocated the mess out of your scalp. But you good with that. So you let it go. And then you keep patronizing these same people. So a part of boycotting, if you want to boycott, if you want to make a difference in our community, is that you hold the hairstylist accountable, right? And what it
absolutely.
does is, even to those that just do a certain specialty service, it will force them to either get it right or they're gonna get left, right?
Right. Nobody
And so
want to
that's
lose
real.
money.
Go ahead.
Nobody want to lose money. You know,
No.
they're there to make money. So, you know, you hold them accountable. You know,
Hmm.
I'm not saying go there arguing, because a lot of times people, they argue for the least little thing. Client, you wait till the end of the service to argue, to say, hey, I didn't want my part on this side. You're supposed to put it on, the other side, because you have people that steal services, right? When you don't have you have the person that can do the service, but you know her customer service sucks. So you
Right.
nitpick, right? And then you say, well, hey, I'm not gonna pay for this. And that kind of foolishness. Just imagine standing there all that time, 5 hours, and someone tells you that, hey, I don't like this. I want something else. That is just absolutely horrible.
Right. So,
Horrible.
Keisha said, can you get fungus from hair products? I'm talking about when we put in our hands in a client that said they washed their hair and they blow dried it. We don't know what they have put in their hair, and we put in our hands in it. So not necessarily the products, but I'm talking about the client. So you telling them you got to come with your hair already washed or whatever. They don't know if you washed your hair. You to blow dry that out and you just gone, or you can have they can have an allergic reaction. What did you put in your hair? They don't know. Angel, I like what you said. I was going to ask you to explain that to me, but you said, I meant, why are we taking shortcuts? We're taking shortcuts because we are in 2025, where we have clients. I mean, well, we have hairstylists that feel like they are actual celebrity stylists. No shade to Dawn because she really is a celebrity stylist. But let's say you got a hairstylist that they like I'm gonna say for instance, we had a girl here in Miami, which she still did great work or whatever, but she was known. Let me take that back. Let's take Jackie Head of Times. They was known for cuts. I knew
Mm-hmm.
Jackie haircut. I knew Tony haircut. I knew, I could tell Kim haircut who how they
Mm-hmm.
cut because they had a certain technique and style. They were
Mm-hmm.
very popular salon way back in my time, right? The 90s, right? So that was a big thing. The difference was they still maintained professionalism. They
Mm-hmm.
still, did the services that was needed. They washed your hair and you're gonna come out there looking fabulous. They look
Mm-hmm.
fabulous. I don't care if it was 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
They look fabulous. So you trusted to know you was gonna walk out that door looking like a celebrity. If you wasn't one, you felt like one, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now let's roll it forward in 2025, where we have hairstylists that they are known to be able to do a quick weave, or they are known to sleek your hair, or whatever the case may be, or dreads,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and they the
Mm-hmm.
celebrity. They don't care
Mm-hmm.
about you. So they're doing you a
Right.
favor. The attitude is, I'm doing you a favor. I allowed you to come here. I already got, I make such and such a week. You know what I'm saying? Because they think it's not going to end, right? They have bad attitudes. And because we patronize them, right? Because you patronize them and you say, hey, I'm going to take the attitude and different things like that. They make you take the shortcuts to appease them, not the other way
Mm-hmm.
around, which is really crazy. So they are saying, wash your hair. Don't inconvenience my time and me. You get that together before you come here and sit in my chair. You understand what I'm saying? So that is the reason why there's so many shortcuts in the black salons. She got the hold up stockings on. Okay, thank you. Angel, or washed it good at that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So in the salons, they have like we were talking about diverse salons. We do wash, shampoo, and condition the hair, especially in like hair club too. That was a signature thing. You had to know how to shampoo a man's hair because your tips depended on it, and we had very very good tips. So yes. So that was one big thing that I was saying that we need if you want to boycott, and a boycott should be until there is an impact. Until you start seeing changes. It shouldn't be no 30 days or whatever and different things like in 30 days. No. Until you see the impact. And then in the time frame where you see that, a lot of people feel like, oh, I can't go to nobody else. There's no hairstylist in my area. You did think about things like that. Like I lived in Oviedo, Florida, right? And that's like right before Sanford, Florida, if anybody know about Florida. And I was like, I need my haircut. I'm gonna travel wherever I need to go at because I know if Dawn is in Miami, I'm gonna drive all the way down to Miami to get my cut, right? That's going to be a few hours. Or I lived in North Carolina and I flew to where I needed to. And everybody may not have that. So you got to be able to do the research, right? Do the research to find the stylist in your nearest town or in your area that will give you everything without compromising your hair. But if you keep patronizing the stylists that are taking your hair out, then it's no need to complain. That's what you should be boycotting. Don, you got anything to add to that?
Um, Keisha had a question.
She
Can you
did.
can you get a fungus from hair products? Or
Did you want to answer it?
you can get a fungus from bacteria, right? Okay, broken skin. So when you have open skin or broken skin, and a lot of times when we go in and scratch our scalp with our nails, we break the
Mm,
skin, right?
mm-hmm.
So bacteria, whatever bacteria is on the scalp, it seeps down into the skin. So that leads to what? Infection,
Right.
inflammation, you know, um, that bacteria enters the body and there you go. So if you don't treat or go and have your hair shampooed or, get that dirt and bacteria off the scalp, you're subject to you're subject to an infection at any time the skin breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Any,
So
at any moment.
so
Hmm.
Don, so when did, like, let's say the quick weaves, because I'm
Hmm.
doing a video tomorrow on somewhat of skin disorders, showing like the outcome of different things. So when
Hmm.
they do the quick weave and they put the paper in there and they put the molding on it and they go in there and they start scratching it, taking that comb and they digging in it, and they sometimes you know how they take all that off and they scalp be powdery like white. Is that considered an infection? Like, do they have a bacterial infection, or is that more like psoriasis? You understand what I'm saying? Could that be psoriasis? Is
Um,
that a skin disorder, or
Remember, the psoriasis is already a skin disorder. So
right?
if you already have some form of psoriasis or skin irritation, a quick weave shouldn't be an option for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a style you should be receiving. And
Right.
your stylist should tell you that in your consultation. Look, this is not for you. Okay, well, I really need this quick weave because I'm going on vacation. Okay,
Right.
so your quick weave would be not a shortcut where we have to use this paper. It may be a ponytail, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So the stylist has to have enough knowledge to recommend something else that's best for the client other than um the paper or the quick weave or something that's going to keep her scalp closed up because she has a scalp disorder which she needs to clean her scalp anywhere
Mm-hmm.
from 3 to 7 days. So
Right.
quick weave wouldn't work for her, right? Because she really needs to clean her scalp. So when she said, well, I need, I really need to have this done or that done, you have to really stress to the client, and if you've developed this bond with your client or this trust relationship with your client is going to listen to you.
Right.
When your client realizes that you're advising her on the steps in which for her to preserve her beauty, you're going to help her, she's going to listen and she's going to take those steps. Hey, I'm just going to be gone a week. Okay, I'll take the ponytail. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Or let's sew in your extensions. Do a sew in as opposed to, you know, um completely smothering your scalp, which is a breathing ground because that moisture is what feeds bacteria on the scalp for your psoriasis.
Mm-hmm. So
It's just
Keisha
gonna
came
breathe.
back and I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry. Go ahead, Don. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Keisha came back and said, so if a person is wearing a quick weave, would they not be washing it as recommended? Should we be washing our hair weekly or bi-weekly? Well, remember,
Absolutely.
you're right. Go ahead, Don. Finish it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, cleansing of the body is a daily thing. This includes the scalp. We choose not to do it because our hair is very curly. We don't want to go to sleep with a wet head. But when you visit a hotel, that's why it's a dryer in every single hotel room. It's mandatory.
Hmm.
It's a health hazard, right?
Dang, that's
Because
good. Hmm.
when you shampoo your hair, you can't you dry your scalp. Forget the
Right.
hair part, but you cleanse your scalp. Cleansing of the body is a daily thing, and this includes the scalp. We choose not to do it because like I said, it's challenging when our hair is curly. So this is
Hmm.
why we have so many different scalp disorders, and it's such a rise in scalp disorders because we're going in with these services that don't allow our scalp to breathe.
Now that's a really good thing too, Don, that you bring. I love that the point. That was so simple, but that was some wisdom. Like, why do you think every hotel have a blow dryer? Now the myth
Yeah.
is now growing. Y'all know the myth is that, well, we don't have to wash our hair every day. You know what I mean? Because
Uh-huh.
your hair gets dirty within 24 hours after a wash. That's number one, right? Number two for Keisha as well. For me, I wash my hair weekly because I have short hair. So I need
Mhm.
to mold it and stuff like that and keep it nice or whatever. Some people do weekly. I prefer weekly. Some people do bi-weekly. So yes, but if you have a quick weave, remember the quick weave is braided down or molded down, pulled back in the ponytail, right? And then they put some stuff on it, right? And then they put paper around it, and then they put glue on the wefts and they glue it down. So washing your hair would be challenging.
And this
And
what
that's why people
this is
get it.
what they
Girl, that ghetto pad. Girl, that
this
thing
is
just
it. Right.
that thing.
This is it right here, Keisha. They're gonna be doing it. When you see them
They
doing this right here, that's right.
mm-hmm. They do that pat. And if it get too bad, they be like, I need a comb or something. They be in there digging. I'm like,
Yes.
your hair is
That's what
inflamed. Your scalp is
yes,
inflamed, you know?
yes.
And
That
that's the thing
bacteria
that they
is
don't
having a
realize.
party down there.
Yeah, so you imagine now you're building a fungus, like Don was explaining,
Yes.
because your hair is moist under there. And guess what? Y'all, a lot of us, not me, but a lot of women, they love the quick weave because they could wear it for a month or two. So imagine what that scalp is getting, is feeling, and how what it's going through, because there's
No.
nothing on it. No, they're not washing quick weaves, Keisha. Now, if you have some glue, if you have like if you glue, hair in between your hair being left out, yeah, they
Mhm.
do wash it, and then they just put the glue where if it lift up, they put the glue there and just lay it back down.
Mhm.
But your hair is being washed and everything. But quick weaves, no. If you notice, if you watch that video, the most dangerous hair, I put quick weaves as like the number one, like destroyer. I just, I'm like,
Mm.
oh Lord, I cannot. I'm not a fan of now. But if you know what you're doing, like, you know what I mean. I know how to do quick weaves. Don does quick weaves, and I know they be
Mhm.
fire. But Don is an educator, so Don is going to do a consultation with her clients. She's
Mhm.
going to let them know the do's and the don'ts, and she's going to tell
Mhm.
them the cons, the consequences of doing it, and how long. She's going to give them all that information, but she's also going to do a consultation to make sure that they're a candidate for that. So like she said earlier, if that client has psoriasis, she's going to tell her client, we can't do that on your hair, because if you do, it's going to build up that moisture. It's no access to your hair, so you're going to have a worse, your hair, your scalp disorder is going to be worse than where it is now.
Mhm.
So Angel B says, so basically the majority of our styles are being worn too long.
Yes.
Yes, and it's being applied incorrectly. If you
Yes.
got to do a those are the two main issues, Angel, that's going on with us. It's being applied incorrectly, meaning we're using products that we know that are harmful to the hair, but we're doing it because we're making short-term decisions that's affecting us long term, right? So
Mhm.
something that's a temporary situation, if you keep doing it over and over and over again, it becomes permanent. And so
Right.
that's what's happening. It's not just the longevity, but the application, whether using the blow dry directly on the hair, because and that's a big thing, Don. The
Mhm.
whole thing about I'm natural, but you're
Right.
natural, but you're putting a blow dryer to sleek it all the way out. So you feel like, because I don't have a chemical, I'm safe. And
Right.
so this heat, that blow dry, that's going to, oh, it's natural. So it's fine. All I gotta do is wash my hair. After a while, that hair
Mhm.
be straight. It be limp because
Yeah.
it's done. You
Right.
know?
Fried.
Dyed, fried, laid to the side. So yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm glad y'all asking some really, really great questions. And I
Mhm.
love the fact that you're doing it, because um what we're creating, and you're gonna hear Don and I got some stuff coming down the pipe for you ladies as well, because again, this is not to tear down our hairstylists, this is not to tear down our clients or anything, but we have to push the awareness of what's going on, because I'm looking at people that are doing these things, and I don't have an issue with it. I don't have no jealousy or whatever. But I'm like, that young lady that's every time, every week you're showing us this style that you're doing, your clients are going to be knocking on Don's door, knocking on my door saying, hey, I don't have any hair. I need a trichologist. She's going to be in the comments saying she needs a trichologist because she has thinning hair. Don, you want to read this next one?
From Angel.
Uh-huh, the last one.
Um, I prefer to do my own hair, but I wish I had like a hair doctor I could see twice a year. It's so hard to find a good hairstylist with reasonable prices. Well,
Mm.
you could see me. I'm reasonable. You can see me twice a year. But yeah, we do you do need to see a professional, I think,
Yeah.
sometimes just to get a scalp analysis to see what's really going on with your
Hmm.
hair. I try and do one myself with like my hand mirror, and I do have someone that's a trichologist, that what they call it
Trichologist.
now,
Hmm.
that can look at it. But yeah, I think it's a good thing, you know. When we go to the dentist, right? We still brush our teeth. When we go to have our teeth professionally done, once we leave the dentist, do we not brush our teeth the next day?
If you my
And
friend, I'm going to
sometimes,
tell you to brush your teeth the next day.
right? Sometimes, you know, we once we leave the dentist, we still do our daily maintenance. So when it
Right.
comes to the cleansing and the maintaining of our body, it's a daily thing.
Hmm.
Just like diet and exercise, what we eat, you know what I'm saying? Um, produces, we know, great skin, good hair comes from a good diet and
Right.
exercise. So in the meantime, while you're boycotting, let's put that time into some self-care and some self-healing. And why would you boycott and then go back to the same place? Like that part I really don't understand.
Right.
I'm
Right.
still trying to wrap my head around that part.
I think too, for me, when it comes to the boycotting, and like she said that she wished she had a hair doctor she could see twice a year. She did ask. Don is in Miami.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Don is in Miami, but you service
Hmm.
a lot of Florida though, right? Not just Miami.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The whole coast of Florida, all of
Yeah.
Florida. Mhm.
Um, but I was gonna say that sometimes you might be in a small town because I have seen that where you in a small town, especially living in North Carolina,
Mhm.
and you have to be creative and you have to, as the client, you have to educate yourself. All right.
Right.
It's like I was just telling someone today that was going through some personal things. And I said to them, I said, when you're going through personal things, you have to pour into yourself. You take it day by day. But if, like, say for instance, if I feel like there was a time when I was younger, I used to feel like I was lonely. And I'm like, how do I deal with being lonely? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I would
Mhm.
go and read self-help things and just investigate because I got tired of feeling that way. How do I get out of this funk? How do I deal with depression? Like different things. We are in a day and age in 2025 where you got professional people, doctors, and different things like that. Or you have people that just have experience that might be
Mhm.
going through what you're going through. Get the education behind it. You got YouTube University. You got, TikTok. I be, because they be on there putting stuff up, and a lot of them, I just be like, oh Lord, you talking about bad practices on another level, right?
Mhm.
But there's a lot of free education out here, and if you're in that situation where you cannot find, I have had plenty of times where women come on the comments from my videos and say, I live here, does anybody know a hairstylist here that can do what I talked about? And those women
Mhm.
will go out and they'll tell them where to go at and things like that. It's really that simple, guys. It's not, you know what I mean? We when we want change, and this is, let me tell y'all something real quick. um Tomorrow I'm doing something on about our nervous system, like why we it and how it our even our hair affects the nervous system, how it affects our hair, right? And I thought about it. I said, when you're dealing with your nervous system, it's kind of like if you're so used to doing something that when you start to change it, right? And it's like, okay, so what I was doing was wrong. So let me get in the habit. It's like working out, right?
Mhm.
So, I'm working out. And I only work out 2 times a week, but I know I need more workout, right? And then I try and push myself and I'll do it for a couple of weeks and I'm like, oh, that's enough. I'm tired now. Or something come up where I can't, it interrupts that schedule. That's really your nervous system. It's like wait a minute. The thermometer says we supposed to be operating on 74 degrees. Now you taking this up to 90 degrees. No, 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 no. Let's bring it back down because we're so used to being here. So when you start
Mhm.
changing and creating good habits, the old you is fighting the new you. But it can happen. You take it day by day. So if you're a person that's
Mhm.
experiencing hair loss and you don't want to comment on here, and that is fine, get the help that you need and stick to it and push through it. You know what I mean? And that's what Dawn and I are here for. We're not just the regular hairstylist that's telling you about the latest hair look. We can, you understand? But at the end of the day, I would love for you to have the greatest and the latest hairstyle without compromising your hair. If you can do that, you can do anything. So we can push towards that. You know what I mean? Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Don, you want this is Keisha. Keisha talking to you, Don.
Okay, Don, we go back because we are used to toxic relationships or toxic dynamics. They can do 99 things wrong, but if they do one thing right, in this case, slay your hair, then we go back to because we will look good. Yes.
That's it. I look
Yeah.
good. Now when I go home and I lay down, this hair gonna be laying on this pillow when I wake up in the morning. But honey, I look good
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
And that's that short-term decision that when you keep doing it over and over again, you get away with it for a little bit. But after a while, when you start seeing your hair thinning,
Yeah.
and that I have seen people that had psoriasis and a hairstyle, she don't know no better. They told her, hey, I got psoriasis flaky and stuff. They wash it real good, and if they don't see the flakes no more, they like, okay, she good.
Hmm.
But they scalp may be inflamed. Girl, I've seen where they spray the alcohol on their head, it's spritz, and they be like,
Yes.
I'm like, girl, you seen that?
That
I
scalp
like,
burns. You know that scalp burns when
right,
from the relaxer. That's what I'm
right.
saying. The scalp burns from the relaxer. And it's I saw someone putting a relaxer, a box perm on someone's hair. She was, of course, on on social media, and you said and she said, "I'm like, it's never supposed to go on the scalp.
They
It's
lay it
never
right on the
supposed to touch
scalp
the
like it's
skin."
grease. Mm.
Yeah,
That's the
I
first
mean,
thing they do.
she based it and everything, right? And she was like, she gets her retouch done every 6 weeks. She
No,
she
ma'am.
doesn't have 6 weeks worth of new growth. Like, how much is that? That's not even an
Woo!
eighth of
That's not even an inch.
an inch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you telling her to come in here because you need the money for her to come in here.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, she needs to be on treatments, right? And she
Right.
needs to have her relaxer like every 12 weeks.
Man, Don,
I'm
I'm
like,
gonna
come
be honest
on.
with you. I'm gonna be honest with
Uh-huh.
y'all. I went back to relaxers, right? And I,
Mhm.
I said I would do it every quarter. But to be honest with you, my hair, even if I put my DNA, my curl pattern, I have a C curl pattern, right? I don't really need the relax. I just need to relax because I'm wearing a short cut, right? But
Mhm.
I have did it earlier, and I probably won't do it till like December. All I do is just wash my hair and mold it, and it's
Yeah.
gonna give me the look that I need it to get. But I'm gonna still do my deep treatments. I'm gonna still do those things. But that relaxer I've seen people because it's short hair. That relaxer every 4 weeks, every 6 weeks is actually that's amazing because I see people, they be like, they go into the stylist and they like, when the last time you had a touch up? Oh, you need a touch up. And I'm like, no, she don't need a touch up. Just wash it and
No.
mold it down and just
Right.
put that thing on it. It's gonna, just like we do with natural hair, it's gonna reform it. You understand what I mean?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
you don't need a relax. You could actually, believe it or not, a lot of us can get a relaxer maybe twice a year. It's twice to 3 times a year. That's just
Yes.
me, right? If
Yes.
you're gonna go that route. But
if you're relaxing your hair, you should be at 10 weeks. You should be
mm-hmm,
at 10 weeks or more before you do a retouch. Like you should like have literally
right. But you know what it is,
a lot
Donna?
of they don't know how
My
to do the natural hair. If you were treating your client's hair, right?
mm-hmm,
If you were offering your client treatments in
mm-hmm,
between, your client wouldn't have that type of breakage. You understand what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
So you would be able to tell. First of all, you shouldn't be using a regular. Okay, if you're using if you're getting a relaxer, you should be getting a textured relaxer or a
mm-hmm,
mild relaxer. I
right.
don't know no black person that can take a regular or a
Super,
super relaxer. I don't know anyone. And you
right.
should not be using the kind that you stir up and mix in the box. The two-part um um
It's like mixing
product.
cancer up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not needed for our hair.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
recommend a sodium hydroxide relaxer, which
mm-hmm.
has been on the market for years,
The
right?
design
You
essential.
Yeah. Well,
That's who
the
I work
design
with.
has like five,
Mm-hmm,
different kinds of relaxers. One is like a
mm-hmm.
lithium, one is a calcium,
Right.
sodium hydroxide, um, and
I don't do.
one for sensitive scalp. They have, regular super mild, but they have this one that I used to use. When I tell you it was superb,
Mm-hmm.
it was mixed with
It's
like a
me.
lithium and a sodium hydroxide
Mm-hmm.
um um chemical base,
Right.
but it left the client's hair with so much body. Of course, we
Mm-hmm.
didn't straighten it all the way, right? We
Right.
took them out in sections. But what I loved about Design Essentials is they offered like a complete pre-package. Like you
Right.
had the pre-conditioner, you had the base cream. So the hair that was already relaxed, we had a
Mm-hmm.
conditioner that you put on that hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you
Right.
go in and you base the client's scalp completely,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
hairline, inside insert. Now you go in and apply the relaxer, which is their lowest one that they had. I think it's the mild, the shea butter one. I think it
Yeah.
is. They
Yeah.
may discontinue it. I don't know if they still have it, but and you just
Uh-huh.
apply it. And I would always do apply it to my back, and I
Mm-hmm.
would just rinse it out. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
work the product through. I
Right.
just applied it and left it alone
Mm-hmm.
and rinsed it out. And then I
Right.
applied it to the top. And it was like, why wouldn't you apply it all at once? Because it breaks down like just that fast.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't need to leave it on longer than 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
15, 15 minutes is
Man,
max,
listen.
you know.
Li-
And it had so much bounce. Client's hair was all the way down their back. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it was no breakage. They came in every week. We gave them roller
Mm-hmm.
sets.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't no blow dry. It was a roller set.
Right.
And once you roller set them with the leave-in conditioner, they were under the dryer for like 45 minutes and out the door.
Now
Roller wrap.
Keisha said she
Uh-huh.
had a cousin growing up that would relax her hair every 2 weeks. I used to tell her she was doing it too often, and now the struggles with the things Coach Lee preached about. But you know what, Keisha? A lot of women, and I learned it. I don't know if you remember. I had talked about my mother, my mom, my granddad. My grandpa was coolie. He was in the Bahamas, but he had that Indian type hair. So my mom had she hated wavy hair. Do y'all? That is amazing to me. The wavy want straight and the straight want wavy. Curly, whatever. And my
Yep.
mom would be like, "I need another relaxer. I need a y'all." I swear, it was like every 2 weeks. This lady every week, every 2 weeks. And then one day, it just dawned on me. I was young. I was like 10 years old doing these relaxers and going to get them Optimum. Remember the Optimum Care? That was you. You
Yeah.
was you had money if you get that box, that purple box or whatever, that lavender box. You had money when
Yeah.
you get Optimum Care,
Yeah.
right? And one day as I got older, I said, "Mom, I don't think you're supposed to be relaxing your hair like that." And she was like, "But it keep
Mhm.
getting wavy." I said, "Mom, that's your DNA." And she said, "What?" I said, "Mom, your daddy got hair like this. Your dad had hair like this." She didn't want that hair. And then
Yeah.
as I got older, guess what? I have the hair too. And I found myself not even paying attention. This was years before. I would do the same thing, Keisha. It's not just her. We weren't educated. We didn't know any better. And I was a
Right.
licensed hairstylist. So when I'm
Right.
talking about licensed hairstylists, I'm talking from experience. So I did the
Yeah.
same thing until one day I was like, Mithra, no matter what, if I put it in, if I wash my hair now, it's gonna get curly, it's gonna get wavy. So I go on in with my Nairobi and tie it on up and sit under the dryer and it gets straight and I just brush it down and keep it moving. And my hair stays at a low pH where it's healthy, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
a lot. The only thing I'm saying is that Keisha, the reason why you see that is not, it's not even back then. They still doing it now. They want to change the DNA of their hair, especially women that have cotton hair. You know what I'm talking about, Don? Where they want to do you to run it through their hair every time. Like, ma'am, we could run it through and it's gonna get wavy, it's gonna have weight, but you are destroying your hair because that is your DNA. That's what your
Yeah.
parents gave you. So relaxers and all chemical services and straightening and flat irons and stuff, those are temporary services. Those are not meant to last forever. So since we
Mhm.
understand that, then we have to take better care of our hair. All right.
Right.
Don, what else you got for me? Because we don't went over our time.
Um, Stay out the club because you might run into your baby daddy.
What? Don, child. Y'all know it's time for us to go, honey. My friend say stay out the club, honey. You don't remember your baby daddy. Now Don
Stay
got
out
a
the
whole
club.
husband at home telling y'all about these baby daddies. My
Oh, God.
mom was the same way, child. She's had some stringy hair. My sister and I had to stop the stylist. Like, ma'am, what you say? It's only a few strands on here. She need this. She need this. But we have some
Yes.
things that we are going to that is coming into works for you guys. I am so grateful that you guys are coming on. Don, hell nah. Keep saying so I'm so grateful that you guys joined us and that you are enjoying the Beauty Pioneers. That's our new name. Oh, while you guys are still on here, go right now. I should have added the link. Oh my God. Please, y'all. I'm begging you guys to go to type in Beauty Pioneers. It doesn't have anything there now. It's like brown. It says a bead brown. I'm gonna add it to this tomorrow, but please, if y'all can, go ahead and subscribe there. All right, because we're gonna keep dropping videos every week on Beauty Pioneers until we can start going live there. We need 50 subscribers, so please, 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 and then don't forget to support um the channels when we go to monetize, when we're monetized like this channel here. We have live chats, and so next week I am going to push that the what is it called, super chats, so you guys can ask your questions. They can be pinned up so people can see, and you help everybody else out. I pray that this video has helped so many of you, and thank you again. Shout out to Keisha and Angel that was asking the right questions, and hopefully help somebody that was scared to go ahead and type and ask those questions. And y'all already know we will see y'all next week, Sunday
Mm-hmm.
at 7 p.m. Lord's will. Our hearts
Yeah.
and minds are sealed. We good, Don?
We good.
Smooches. Bye, y'all. See you next week. Beauty Pioneers.